This is my Mercedes optical key that's currently playing up. So when I insert it into ignition, sometimes it will work, but normally first time the ignition won't unlock, it won't release, and the steering lock won't release. So you have to keep taking it out, put it in, take it out, put it in, and eventually it'll pick it up. Now what I found happens with these keys is if you get the button wears out like mine has here, dust and bits of dirt and horrible stuff gets down inside the key and blocks the little infrared transmitter inside. They're quite simple to open. This little piece on the top here, this little slide, if you've ever changed the batteries before, you pull the slide to one side, you can see, put my finger, and then it just releases the key, the emergency key. Pull that away, put that to one side, and when you look down inside the key, you can see the little piece underneath the slide. There's another little grey button inside. If you just get some picks and you push down inside, you'll see the little grey piece moves, and when it moves that unlocks the top, and you've only got to pull it a tiny piece to release it, and then the whole section that holds the batteries comes out. Put that to one side again, and then when we look down inside, this white piece, that's what holds the board in place inside, the actual gubbins, the bits that do the work. Now we want a pick. This 45-degree angle one's pretty good, and we're just going to get down the side of this white piece, gently prise it out. Right, so when that comes free, this board will come out with it. If the board doesn't come, these little holes here, when it's back down inside the key, you can take your pick and you can just find one of these little holes, feel around for it, there it is, you'll find it, and you can just pull this out. And once we're out, this is the bit that does the work. This is the insides of the key. So there's our buttons for the remote fob, and on the end we've got these infrared transmitters. I believe one's a receiver as well for programming the key. But anyway, these are what get dirty. So if you take just a little earbud, give them a clean, and then make sure there's no loose bits on the actual board itself. Get rid of all of that, give it a good clean. It's worth checking as well, this little coil here, this is what is used to actually power the key. The batteries don't need to be in it for this bit to work, so when you put it in ignition, there's an induction coil in the car which will then pass the power to the key. So these infrared bits are activated and it can send the immobilization code or the unimmobilization code to the car. And then what we want to do as well is just make sure there's no grab in here. As you can see, mine's absolutely full of stuff because my buttons are broken. And then get down inside, give it a clean, and then to put it back together, you can reattach this or you can leave it off if you want, this little white bit, but it sits on the side with the little processor on, to the side of all the electronics on. It sits on that side, not the side with the buttons on. And obviously make sure that the side, sorry, it sits on the side with the buttons on, so this side with most of the stuff on, that's where the white bit sits. And then make sure these buttons go back in on the button side. You don't want to force them in. Right, if I just give this a little push with my pick. There we go, we're back in. I'll put my batteries back in. Should click home. There we go. Let's check it still works. Still got a flashing light. Put our emergency key back in. Job done. That's how you clean your key. I just want to show you that my key does now work. There you go, every time. Lovely.